What's up, everybody? It's David here at Smitty's Garage, coming at you on this beautiful day. And let me tell you, when I say beautiful, I mean beautiful, guys. 2 days ago, we had 7 inches of rainfall in 1 hour. Talking about a really bad flooding situation. Thankfully, we stayed pretty dry up here where I live. But everywhere in town, mass flooding everywhere, guys. It's been a hot minute since I recorded. Last I talked with y'all, I was doing some repairs. But today's going to be a repair that turned into a flip. Let's check it out. Slow and steady wins the race, guys. Where's that old Craftsman that was in that picture? I was doing a repair on this one. Did a repair on this pressure washer. Did a repair on this generator. All 3 for the same guy. And hey guy, check out Ithwitt's upload. He's doing a flip on this generator right here. But back to my stuff. So the first thing I was working on was this mower right here. I was trying to get it running from this man. And long story short, after throwing a lot of parts that I had just hanging around the shop, come to find out the camshaft's broke and there's a lot of internal damage on the inside of the engine. So I talked with the guy about it, and you know, he just bought this mower for like 200 bucks here a couple years ago. He just didn't want to spend a lot of money on it. So I said, well, we'll try our best to keep costs down. So I located a parts mower. Got a running engine on it. 50 bucks. That was worth 50 bucks to me. Now here's where the story gets interesting. Really interesting, guys. So I was on the way home with the parts mower. You know, that's definitely going to keep costs down right there. 50 bucks for a good engine. Little or nothing to do a little engine swap. Got a phone call. Need an update on this mower. Let me know where you're at. I kind of let him know where I was at, you know. Hey, I got $0 into it. I just picked up an engine, getting ready to do an engine swap. Well, the opportunity arose for this man to get him a brand new mower. And I was like, well, you know, I honestly don't blame you right there, especially for the deal that he was going to get. So he was like, what you thinking? I kicked around a couple ideas. He kicked around a couple ideas. We came down to the agreement on some things, and I now own a Craftsman mower with a motor to do an engine swap with. So what do you say we get into this and do a flip? I've got this bad boy wrapped up right here. Got it ready. I want to do a little more cleaning on it. Make it look a lot better, you know. Not too much, just a little bit more. It was completely covered in dirt when I got it, but I like for things to look as best as possible when I give them back. I just got the part in yesterday for this. Got it running, got the oil change, got everything good on it. Needs a new rocker switch. So I ordered that from Kohler, got that in. Once I put that switch in there, that's a done deal. I let him know, hey, come get your stuff. And I forgot about my girl right here. I got some parts sitting in the living room for this, but I want to work on that. I want to go on and, man, y'all catch that light? I want to go ahead and get this mower here going, get this engine swapped, change the oil in it, check the belts, the blades, and all that stuff, and let's get that thing moving, you know. Let's get it out of here. I can recoup my money right there. Like I mentioned earlier, y'all check out Ithwitt's little project right there. It's a pretty cool little deal, dude. Bought that generator for 50 bucks. Brought it back to life, and it's almost ready to get out of here. So enough of this jibber jabber, guys. Let's get down to the business. What do you say? Come on. Well, I decided I was going to pull this whole thing out. It got damaged in a storm, but it'll work for what I want to use this for, because it just really got so much going on here in the shop. I need a little extra room. So excuse me guys, so what I'm finna start doing here is I'm going to disconnect the harness, and I'm going to field strip this engine right here, meaning the exhaust, the intake, the carburetor, and the starter. Then I'm going to take my jack here. We're going to jack this thing up. I'm going to pull the drive pulley out of it, drop the belt and everything, take the 4 bolts loose on the engine, and then we'll be ready to pull this engine up out of here. So without further ado, I'm just going to get to this. When I get it pulled, I'll bring y'all back. I've got the bolts to put that tank on. I just need to find the time to do it. Guys, I done it again. I done got to working out here, and I forgot to bring y'all along. So this motor is the original one for here, and the motor that's sitting on there is that one. I was having kind of a, see, it's much better under the shade. I'm just getting tight with space. I was having a hard time getting the holes lined up. They are exact. There was just a dimple that the engine was not sitting on. This is the only bolt that I have left to start, and I'm going to take the idle pulley off of the transmission so that I can get better access to it. I decided I'd utilize this little old thing that's always out there in my old graveyard. Kind of working out good. I can throw everything there, and I don't have to hunt for it in all these little odd and end places that I'm prone to put things. So we're making good progress. I checked the pulleys on them, and and they're going to be the same. Now I know y'all are seeing this and you're seeing that, but that's okay. That piece is actually on this engine. I do believe this is a 16.5 and not a 15.5. This is also not an Intech engine, but it is an IC, whereas that's an Intech engine. And to be honest with you, Intechs are just trash. They're trash. Actually, let me rephrase this. This is not an Intech engine. Okay, hey, I stand corrected. Anyway, this is a 16.5 and that's a 15.5, so we're going to have a slight increase in horsepower. Everything's coming along good. I do like about this engine is it has an oil filter, so that is a bonus over this one. This cover here fits this engine. I've already test fitted it, so without further ado, I'm gonna get on back to the installation. Let me think. We'll get this engine bolted down. We'll get the belt pulley on and the belts back on, and then let's say about time I'm ready to start putting the accessories on, I'll bring y'all back. It's getting a little warm. I may go in the house and cool down some, but this is definitely, this little canopy here, I've had it covering up my bikes back here in my old storage bin for quite some time. It bent, the frame bent when we had a bunch of snow, but you know what, man, this is awesome here. I'm gonna get back to this, guys. Well guys, I've got this engine swapped on here. I got the belts on it. I've got it bolted down and everything. Got the harness all hooked up. I reckon before we go any further, I want to bust it off. I just want to bust it off and have it on record. It's running. My only complaint so far is the engage, disengage cable for the belts. Seems to be sucked. But I've got it soaking in some PV glycer, so maybe it'll come loose. Before I move any further on this, I want to bust it off. Relatively loud with no exhaust on there, but the important thing I just noticed is I didn't see any smoke. So that's great to me. I think our next step here is we're going to get the exhaust on there, get the carburetor on there, get this throttle linkage all hooked up, and I've got the gas tank removed from it because I need to put new fuel line on it. It had a bunch of pinholes in it. From there, we should be able to have this thing running on its own. I don't want to run it too much on this old oil, but I've got to get a filter, so I can't just change it right now. Making progress, guys. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Of course, when I was troubleshooting the old system, I had put a new carburetor on there. So I've got a brand new carburetor to put on it. That's the old one right there. I was going to go with this exhaust because of the cage, but I don't like how the header just slips into it. I like how this one is still attached. So what I'm going to do is I'll be straightening this guard out, this muffler guard out, and we'll be using it and using this muffler right here, which this is the muffler that came off of the old engine. But I like how it's still intact, not like the other one where the header just slipped in there. Y'all can see it was all rusted out. So of the two, we're going to use the better. I like the muffler better. I like the cage better. I prefer muffler over cage. I can fix this. So we're going to go with that one. I've got the intake. I noticed I don't see a return spring on the throttle assembly, but I'll rob this one off of here. Like I said, any part I need, I'll rob off of this engine right here. Even this little PCV hose there. It's kind of unfortunate. This has brand new oil in it. Only been turned over for about 5 minutes. Never ran. But it's contaminated oil, and you don't cross contaminate, so it's out of there. So now that we got a plan, let's go for it. Well guys, as y'all can tell, I kind of got ahead of myself. I got some fuel in here, and I see one little drip. I'm not 100% sure if it's coming from the grommet or from the clamp on the hose. I'll definitely have to take it apart to do that. I put some bolts in here to hold the tank down, so that's going to be a very minor issue. All I did was bump it over. I haven't really ran it yet. Got the carburetor on. We got the exhaust on. I set the gap on the coil, and I've got the starter shimmed and lined up good, all the harness. We're ready to start this thing up, see if it's going to idle. Now if it idles, hey, I'd like to put it in gear and just kind of ride it around the yard, let that transmission move around. I noticed this, we don't have a grip on there. But that's okay guys, I got a parts mower, so guess what we're going to do? I'm going to take the grip off of it and just set it on this one. So guess what? Now we got a grip. Y'all want to do it? Let's do it guys. So let's start it up. And if it stays running, let's just try to move it around the yard some. Hit the choke. Gas is on. Not bad, guys. We got a runner. We got the motor, the engine transplanted, and it does ride. This is a 6-speed transmission. I noticed I couldn't get it in 6, but I got it in the other 5. Got it in reverse. The smoke is all the oil that's been spilt on that exhaust. I expect that to clean up the more it runs. Overall, this has been a successful day. I'm pretty excited. I will be draining the gas out of this tank so that I can better assess where it's leaking from. I feel like it's on the grommet actually. That's okay, I can get a new grommet. I believe I'm going to call it a wrap today, but I'm not done with this upload yet. Coming up, I'll have an oil filter. We'll change the oil in it. And hopefully I'll also have the cable for the blades, the blade disengage cable. Then we can get it out here again and start it up and try to cut with it. Pretty awesome, guys. Pretty awesome. As of right now, I have $50 into this lawnmower, and that's that one right there. Pretty cool, guys. Catch you in a little bit. What's up, everybody? Been quite a few minutes since I've worked on this mower here. Got the cable in for the clutch disengage. I know my video's been kind of short, but I've really had my hands full with a lot of repairs. Got this pressure washer running. She runs great. Pump's a little weak. Talked with the owner. He's giving me the go ahead and get a new pump in. So I got that going on. I've got that generator right there. She's ready to go, waiting to be picked up. Helping Ithwitt with his flip right there. One more thing, it's gonna be ready to go. Y'all tune in to his channel for what he's got going on. And then I got this that came in yesterday. I've got 2 units that's come in for repair. So I'm about 4 pieces of equipment out before I can even get to working on my stuff. But we're real close on this lawnmower flip here. And that's what I want to work on. I'd like to get this thing to the point where I can get out, kind of mow my yard a little bit with it, test it out. And I think I need to change the grommet on the gas tank, but that's not an issue. As y'all can tell, I'm really packed full. I mean, we're packed full on Ithwit's side. We're packed full on my side. I've had to pop the canopy up just to have room to work on things. So I need to get this mower out so I can get some parts in. Anyway, enough talking. I'm gonna make some room. I'm gonna get this mower out about right in here, and we're gonna see what it's gonna take to change this cable out. Let's just get down to business, guys. Looking fairly straightforward. Looks like we'll take it loose right there. It comes down, it goes through that hole. From there it goes over here, it loops back up, and then it clamps in right there. And then the actual spring is right on the other side of this arm here. So she's looking fairly straightforward. I reckon some of this is going to be a little difficult because it's some old pinch things, and sometimes I get a little ignorant, but you know, we have a solution for ignorance. So yeah, let's get it changed, guys. I'm gonna pull it out, get that new one installed in the exact order that I'm gonna take it loose. I'm gonna take it loose right up here, undo the ball, fish the line through, the cable through down here, unhook that clip, get all that loose, take the spring loose, and then I will go back with the new one in reverse. Let's do it. I'll bring it back when we're done. That really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I did change the clamp on this fuel line going underneath the tank and half filled the tank up. Looks pretty good. What I wound up and did was take these 4 bolts off, take the shifter knob off, and drop the whole deal out so that I could just work on it right here. Got my wire, my cable routed nicely up in there, and we can engage. So let's start it, see if the blades engage. Now I have a feeling I'm gonna have to be on here to see if the blade will engage. I would love for it to. Then we could just put the hood on it, air these tires up, and get it out in the yard. Got the brake already on. Not bad. I'm gonna let this motor warm up a little bit and get this thing out in the yard after I get the hood on and everything, and we're gonna test mow with it. It hasn't been ran in over a week, so I'm gonna let it warm up some, then we're gonna do that. Well, let's see if this repair works and we can cut. I haven't sharpened these blades. I kind of don't think I'm going to. Let's take a look. I mean, we can obviously see my grass is up kind of high. You know, we've been having tremendous amount of rain up here, but that's fairly good for some used blades. Could it use new ones? Yes, but I don't see any mohawks. Now what I see is where it's clumped up where I mowed, but it's not leaving any mohawks, so I am satisfied with that. I didn't get with y'all on this, but I did straighten out the muffler guard and I have it installed. So what I really have left to do on this unit is now I need to get an oil filter and change the oil on it. And once that's complete, and just for personal preference, I'm going to drill a couple of holes in this seat so water can really drain out. I think I'll wash it and off camera wash it up and we'll list it. I may and I may not bring y'all along on the oil change. I mean, if you've seen one oil change, you've seen 100 of them. But you know what, guys, overall I had a $20 pressure washer I won for $20, and I traded it for this engine right here with actually the whole parts mower that I got stored in the back there. And so we've got that and a $15 cable invested into this lawnmower. You know, 35 bucks. Now sure, we could argue that I've got my time invested on this pressure washer and I've got my time invested and a few parts invested on that. So my payment for those was this mower. So I really don't have any money tied up into this mower. I've got what I won at the auction house for the pressure washer for this engine and that cable. Everything else has been just labor. So guys, I'm gonna quit talking for right now. I'm gonna get me an oil filter and get me a some fresh oil for this old girl, clean her up, and she'll be ready. I'll clean it up off camera, but I think I'm gonna bring y'all aboard when I change this oil so y'all can look at it. Overall, it's a really nice looking unit. It's base model. It don't have no lights. The frame, it has wiring for lights, so I could actually probably, that's about the only damage, but it was like that when I got it. So, man, nice, guys. Hey, when I get that oil, I'll bring y'all back. Well, guys, I got a new oil filter. This is going to be kind of a weird oil change. The oil filter's on this side and the drain's on that side, so I'm just going to open the oil filter, take it off, and when it's done draining, then we'll move over there. But in case you're wondering what the part number is, part number is 492932S. That's the part number for this. Let's just get this old bad boy off of here. I tried to pull it by hand. She's just a little too snug for all that. Let's see if we can't get her with this wrench. If nothing else, we'll put a pair of channel locks on here. Oh boy. Channel locks it is, guys. It's being stubborn. Sometimes it's like that. Glad I ain't trying to save this filter, to be honest with you. All I know is whoever put it on, they meant business. There we go. Like for it to all drip out there, but I just don't think it will. I'm not gonna lie, guys, in a pinch this one may still be okay for, say, a mower that I'm just testing on, but I do not recommend that kind of practice at all. I'm going to set this down. When this is done draining, I'll bring y'all to the other side. So I've currently got the oil draining on the other side. Y'all can see it coming out there. So this is pretty boring process right here. I'm just going to let this thing drain for a little bit. I'll spin it by hand like this, and then we'll get the fresh oil put in there. I've got some seafoam to put in the gas, and I think just for kicks, once this is done, we're going to spray this thing down with some degreaser and hit it with the water hose. So when I'm ready for the degreaser, I'll bring y'all back. The plan is to use this oil here. I'll use this oil filter. I am going to clean the mating surface of that, probably with some brake clean, before I put the new oil filter on. Yeah, I'm getting pretty excited about that. Oh, I didn't show y'all, but I also drilled a couple of holes in the seat, so when it catches water, it'll kind of drain. Won't get a wet butt when you sit down. So let me get this took care of, guys, and I will bring y'all back. Super glad we went ahead and changed that oil, guys. That's, yeah, that just, you see all the foreigns in there? That's just unacceptable. We made the right call. I'm going in with some oil right now. I'm gonna find my funnel. Put some of this 10W30 I got from Atwood's in there. Got the new filter in. Got seafoam and a little Marvel Mystery Oil in the gas mix. Let's get this oil in here, then we'll start it up. Well, I got it up, started running. I'm gonna get it up to the house, soak it down with some degreaser and wash it off. So with today, we're gonna be using Super Clean. Ithwitt and I just really like using their product. We're not sponsored by them. We just really like using it. So I just want to kind of give y'all a little once over what everything looks like beforehand, and then we can bring y'all in once we get it soaked down and washed off. Pretty grimy, you know. I'm not using a pressure washer. I'm just going to use the water hose with a hand nozzle. But y'all can catch this stuff just about anywhere. It's really good, guys. Let me get it soaking and I'll bring y'all back. Well, let's let this old girl soak down pretty good for a few minutes while I hook up a nozzle on my water hose. I want to try to get some kind of pressure to it, but I've got everything soaking pretty good. I just hit the whole thing with the degreaser. I mean, might as well. I'm hoping a lot of that comes out, especially that stuff there, without scrubbing. I don't want to do that. So let me get it hooked up and get it sprayed down like that. Overall, looking good, guys, looking good. I'll bring you back. Guys, what a beautiful piece of machinery this has come out to be. Wow. Y'all wait till y'all see the other sides. You know, where it was black with dirt and grime. Look at the rims even came. I got a little dirt spot right there, but I'll get that. Man, check this out, guys. I got it in good shape there. Man, that come out good. That came out good. Everything come out good. Most of the grease and grime, not all of it, but most of it came up. Looks good, guys. This is a good unit right now. So hey, you know, just a little advice. If you wash your machine, let it air out. Let it dry for a good period of time. I know these machines, they're designed to get wet, but they're not designed to really run well when wet. It needs to be dry. Your electrical components needs to be dry. You're all up around the air box and around the coil. Everything needs to be dry. So let it sit. let it dry for an extended period of time. And if it's in a spot that you don't want to keep it in, then just push it down to where you want it. And that's going to be my case right now. I don't want to leave it here. I want it down there at my shop. So I'm just going to roll it down there, and I'm going to let it dry. It may dry the rest of the evening before I decide to fire it back up. I don't know. But I know for sure I'm not going to start it while it's wet like this. Really came out good, guys. I think we may have hit good with this one. Let's get it down to the shop. Let's kind of recap, and let's close this chapter out. All right, we're back down here at the shop. I just pushed it down here. We're not starting her till tomorrow. That's what I want to do. So let's do a recap, guys. You know, what all happened since I've gotten this lawnmower to now. Well, if you watched the beginning, y'all knew it was a repair. Couldn't get this mower to start for nothing. I tried, you know, a new carburetor because I thought it was kind of gummed up, the old one. Changed the plug, changed the coil. I checked and made sure the flywheel key wasn't broken. Checked all the safety switches on it. I just wasn't getting anything. Pulled the valve cover, and I checked the rockers. Everything seemed decent. However, when I turned it over, I quickly realized the intake push rod was not moving. Now the valve was free, I could move it, but the rod wasn't moving. So I kind of played with that for a little bit. The rod was not bent. I determined later on that the camshaft was broke. So then I notified the guy that owned the machine. Everything is going on. What do you want to do? And that's when he stumbled across a good deal for a new mower and decided that, hey, if you want this one, you can have it. So now the machine has turned from a repair to a flip. It just so happened to be that in this gray area time, I had purchased a parts mower. And when I say purchased, the guy wanted $50 for it. But I traded him a pressure washer that I won for $20 with the immaculate Honda engine on it for the parts mower with the good engine. Way back in yonder's where I got the junk engine. So we swapped engines, changed the oil in it. Y'all just seen that. I put a new starter on it that I had in stock. I put the new carburetor on it that I had in stock. I put the exhaust that was on this engine on here. Straightened up the exhaust baffle there, the guard, because it was just bent crazy. We changed out the cable for the blade engaged. Blades are okay. They need sharpened, but they are okay. I checked the belts. Belts are good. All the wheels are brand new on it, so that's a plus. I put a new fuel filter on here. I put a shutoff valve. I believe in these. I don't like trusting just the needle. I just believe in that. Got a new filter on here. I cleaned out the inside of the gas tank. You know, we just popped some hose in this seat, keep it from collecting water. Did a real good deep charge on the battery. Brand new oil filter. Everything looks good. Everything works as it should. I have one minor complaint on this mower, and it's simply this. My mower that I have for my personal use does the same thing. I've chased this, and I just haven't found a very good solution for it yet. My only complaint is when I start this lawnmower up, I have to run it at about half choke for 3 to 4, 5 minutes or whatever, and then I can ease out of the choke and go to full idle. Otherwise, it just kind of rum. I don't know what's up with that. It may be the design of this motor. My personal mower does that, and I've done everything I know to do to it. That's my only complaint. After the few minutes of, you know, about quarter choke, purrs like a kitten. So I'm pleased, guys. I'm pleased with this unit. In case y'all are interested in what parts you may need for this particular model, well, here you go. That's kind of handy for y'all. So I think it's a pretty solid unit. It really looks good. I wish it had headlamps, but it didn't come with it. Really looks good, guys. Let's close this chapter out. Man, I need to get me a starter for that 2N. What y'all think about this old girl? I think it come out pretty good. Pretty nice windfall, if I must say. Guys, listen, I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me, just watching the crazy things I do out in my shop. I want to thank y'all for anybody that's subscribed, that's took time out of their day to comment, to share. Really means a lot, guys. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Hey, listen, guys, remember, the grind never ends. Find something that you like to do it today, and tomorrow do it better. Do me a favor, guys. Give me a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe. I'd love to have you here at Smitty's Nation. Give me a thumbs down. Probably deserve it. No, really, guys. Every day's a blessing, and today's no less. Thank you, guys, for everything that y'all do. Thank you for watching. Hey, from David here at Smitty's Garage, I hope that you have a blessed day. Hope your projects are going your way, and I hope they're fruitful. This is David here, Smitty's Garage. Peace. I'm out. Yeah!